Hey everyone, this is Jacqueline, JW Van Minimal. Welcome to my channel. It is primarily based on my journey into doing a minimum lifestyle and eventually getting a van and doing a van dwelling for approximately a year. So I want to continue to keep the channel moving in hopes that you guys take my hand and come with me on this journey. I am going to be primarily, before I get the van, do some footage of a day in my life. I've already did a couple of things before, but I'm going to be more intentional now that the weather is breaking. It's barely breaking. It's sunny, but it's chilly. It's cold in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So anyway, I am about to, I've been kind of a hermit for the past, I don't know, a good December. And even though I work a job, when I come from work and I have a business, when I could do my business from anywhere, but when I come from work, I'm a hermit. I'm at home. So please excuse my hair. But I'm about to go to a meeting, which back in the day, the other work I used to do, I was always at meetings, and I'm an economic development strategist and economic development specialist, did all kinds of work around community building, but that is my rat race, and that is what I'm trying to get away from. Not from the purpose of what I'm trying to accomplish, but just to get out of that race. So to do that, I still have to work. And I still have to do things. So I just left my apartment, and this is a problem. This is a heavy jacket that I have to wear because it's still cold outside, and I hate it. I can't stand it. Got my coffee under my arms, got some reading materials. I am about to meet up with a business partner friend of mine. We are going to be going to a community meeting. I'll see if I can do anything there, like a separate video though, because my editing skills is limited so far, primarily because of my technology, but also, I don't feel like figuring out this editing process with my two phones and my computer. My other computer crashed, my tablet doesn't work, all those things I had access to before. So I am going to meet up with my friend. So I'm home, and let me sit down for a minute because I just stepped outside. It feels like 10 degrees out here, even though the sun is shining. It's beautiful, but it's cold, and I just don't like it. And I'm planning to leave this part of the country, especially in the cold season. So we're going to meet up at a local cafe restaurant in my neighborhood. It's half a block away. It's a long block. It's half a block away. And I'm going to attempt to walk with you. Sorry for the shaking of the camera. Like if I edited this on my computer, I'd be able to manage the shaking. But I think I want to just upload it raw for the moment, just to make sure I am consistently vlogging. And I do have to watch where I'm going, so I can't look at you guys in the camera all the time. I will glance over. But so this is what okay, let me try to go back a little bit, and this may bore you, but with my life. I have been doing community work forever, when I became a single parent of my daughter, well, I have two daughters, but when I became a single parent, after the breakup, I started doing community work because I felt like the women particularly were being maligned, poor women especially, and of course women of color, black women, Latino women. So, and that was 30 some years ago, or maybe I'll say 25 years ago, because I already had two kids before I became a single parent. And I wanted to make a difference. I grew up in Chicago. We moved to Milwaukee when I was a child. And I saw a difference in the way the people were in Chicago, like in the what do you call it? Civil rights movement. I was born in the 60s. So when we moved to Milwaukee, people are kind of calm and subdued and not complacent so much as it was satisfied is the word I'll use. They seemed satisfied with their life and how things were going. And the city was pretty clean. It was different from Chicago. So we kind of made our life here. But as I became an adult and started noticing, actually when I was a teen, they started doing like segregated, this town segregated still is, but they started doing busing, and I was bussed over across town in predominantly white neighborhoods, and we got called names, and this is in like the mid 70s maybe. Yeah, like mid 70s, late 70s too. And we were called the N-word, and my friends, I saw them get beat up. They were the guys. They didn't really mess with us girls, but they still called us names. So that was early in the 70s. And we're still dealing with all kinds of discriminatory practices and racism now. So I noticed it then. And then when I became an adult, I noticed that, you know, things may have changed as far as like outwardly doing stupid things like that, but we still have racism, you know, undercover stuff, structural racism. So at an early age, when I was a single parent, I noticed that our rights as moms were being kind of violated, especially if you were poor. So, get across the street here. So, that's when I started my community work. I just was so committed to changing how things were, and now 30 years later I'm still doing the same thing, but I need to approach it in a different way. So I had to do all that to say that I am meeting with a colleague or a friend of mine. She's a business partner, and if it's windy, I apologize. And we are going to a bigger community meeting because there was some funding that came into our community. And I'll finish this conversation before I go inside. There's some funds that came into our community that the community is supposed to have input into how the money is going to be used or spent. It's going to be like a planning process, and it's around housing primarily, but you know, community development in particular. And I'm a consultant, and I'm not getting any business from anywhere, like the kind that I want. Like, this is up my alley. So she and I are going to partner up and see if we can get some kind of contract, but beyond that, make a difference and really just see what's going on with the funds that come into communities, and the community never see the funds. So that's what the meeting is about this evening. I'll try to take footage of it. It'll probably be in a separate video because I'm about to go in this little cafe, really cool cafe in my community right on the corner. I was glad they came to my neighborhood. It just, by the way, where I live in a fairly stable neighborhood, so that's the only word I can use for it. We have Harley Davidson here, right behind me. That's a Harley Davidson factory. And then if I turn just enough, you might be able to see Miller Coors. Their corporate office is here, and we have some other big players in the community. All of that kind of access, riches, corporation. Our neighborhood just below us, like right, a few blocks down, should be booming. Should be jobs. People that work over in these big corporations should be living and walking in our community, that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm going to be dealing with today. And I'm planning to maybe take some footage of that and post it. I posted some other community stuff I've done, but it's like I'm always volunteering, basically. And I'm kind of sick of that. And that is also what I call my rat race again. So we're going to strategize about how we can make a difference. So I will see you later. Thank you guys for taking my hand, walking this journey with me. I appreciate you. Share my video, like it, comment, and more importantly, subscribe, because I will be bringing you more stuff that you will hopefully enjoy. But I wanted to make sure I keep you posted on things that's going on. And I will see you back on the other side. This is Jacqueline with JW Van Minimal, and I will talk to you later.